Creatures that defy all logic, fossils that shouldn't have existed, and strange carcasses that wind up out of nowhere.
What's going on here? That is the preserved skeleton of a centaur.
It often feels like the world hides mysteries, waiting for the right moment to be uncovered.
This is what's known as the Fiji mermaid.
Today, we're looking at terrifying discoveries that appeared when no one expected them.
What we know, Moses Kimball had in his possession a mermaid that he obtained from a Boston sea captain.
The Peabody Museum houses many fascinating curiosities, but one of its most famous is the Fiji mermaid. First displayed in the 19th century, it was said to have been purchased from a sailor who claimed to have found it near Fiji.
1822, Boston sea captain Samuel Pepys travels to Japan and spends $6,000 in 1822 to purchase a mummified mermaid from some Japanese fishermen.
The figure quickly stirred public fascination, as it appeared to be a bizarre hybrid of human and fish. One of the most possible theories is that this could perhaps be a deformed baby mermaid that expired soon after birth.
Most of the mermaids, there was about 15 mermaids known in the States here.
Centaur skeleton.
It is the preserved skeleton of a centaur.
For quite some time, there has only been a Hollywood depiction of centaur beings, and it wasn't until recently that actual remains were disclosed to the world. According to archaeologists, this is one of 3 centaur burials discovered in 1980 by the Archaeological Society of Argos Orestiko, 8 kilometers northeast of Volos, Greece.
This centaur was excavated in 1980 in Greece.
These fossils were kept preserved from public knowledge until it was displayed back in April 2020. Judging from the discovery, it looks like a spear pierced through the chest.
It was a spear piercing into the ribs of the centaur,
which may have been the cause of its end. Much of the details about these species fossils are still either not disclosed or are not known yet.
University is an esteemed place of learning, meaning that the centaur's real.
Unknown tiny mummy. This is probably one of the weirdest kinds of discovery, as the exact nature of this is not known apart from the mixture. In 1906, a bizarre mummy from Japan was brought to the United States, where it has remained an object of fascination. Now under scientific investigation, the specimen is being scanned to determine its origins, as it appears to combine traits from multiple creatures. Its preserved form features the head and torso resembling a primate, hands with reptilian or amphibian-like characteristics, and a distinct fish-like tail. Measuring as an unusual blend of anatomical features, the mummy has puzzled researchers for decades. Modern imaging and analysis aim to uncover the truth behind the strange fossilized remains.
Head and torso of a monkey. The hands seem to be that of an amphibian, almost maybe alligator, crocodile, or a lizard of some sort.
Preserved cursed fairy. A reel of a winged creature that was labeled as a cursed fairy was shared on Instagram. It showed a close examination of the head, looking more like that of a goblin, a very narrow and skinwalker-type body, and large wings. Both its arms are joined to the chest, while it is hung inside a tiny frame and secured by 2 nails on either side. According to the source, this fairy, after being seen in reality, was cursed by the priest, and with time, the curse itself changed the very nature of its look. Great Yarmouth mermaid. In 2016, a man claimed to have discovered the remains of a mermaid washed ashore in Great Yarmouth. He shared a clip filmed on a Norfolk beach, which quickly went viral, garnering over 15,000 shares in just 2 days. He described it as resembling a mermaid with fins, a tail, and a decayed human-like head. While the torso appeared badly decomposed, the head and tail seemed more intact. Some viewers were convinced it was a mermaid, even likening it to Disney's Ariel. While others suggested it was more likely a seal, common along the Norfolk coast. but the reality of the matter shows this to be more of a mermaid than anything else. Infant mermaid skeleton. At the Science Museum in London, visitors were left stunned by the unveiling of a very unusual skeleton that appears to resemble a real-life mermaid, with a humanoid upper body and a lower body that looked like a fish-like tail. It blurs the boundary between legend and reality, sparking debate among experts and onlookers alike. It points to an undiscovered marine species that once inspired global mermaid myths. Scientists remain cautious, often attributing such sightings to misidentified sea creatures. Mummified mermaid. A bizarre mummified mermaid, long believed in Japanese folklore to grant immortality if its flesh is consumed, has been uncovered and is now undergoing scientific analysis, said to have been caught in the Pacific Ocean near Shikoku between 1736 and 1741. The specimen is preserved in a temple in Asakuchi, with its grimacing human-like face, sharp teeth, hair, hands, and fish-like lower body. The creature bears an unsettling resemblance to the legendary ninja of Japanese mythology. Researchers at Kurashiki University of Science and the Arts have conducted CT scans to investigate its structure, hoping to uncover new insights into its mysterious origins. Anciently preserved mermaid. This isn't just another so-called mermaid carcass discovery, but rather one that was preserved by a long-lost civilization. A group of archaeologists who were excavating the remains of an unknown civilization discovered these perfectly preserved ancient mermaid mummies. According to them, this lost civilization worshipped these mythical creatures, and the find shows a glimpse into the beliefs and practices of a culture that has long been shrouded in mystery. The mermaid mummy is now kept in an airtight display tray. Beached mermaid carcass. Sometimes, unusual beings such as this are found in places aside from the exhibition in a museum. A video shared by an unknown beachgoer who discovered a mermaid carcass on the beach. At first, he thought of it being some large, decaying fish that made it to the beach until he got closer and noticed it had part human features. Most of its body was already decaying, but the hair, however, was completely unscathed. The source had a good look at it along with the recording lens of the camera, as he was convinced by the discovery that this mermaid was real. Dug up vampire carcass. A video that was leaked online shows a humanoid carcass with visible vampire-like teeth that caught the attention of netizens. Now, even though vampires don't perish, this one seems to have been stabbed with a wooden pike, which didn't obliterate it, rather expired just like a usual human being. Considering how preserved the carcass is, being hundreds of years old, it is very possible that it could actually come back to life if the pike is removed from the chest.
What have we here?
Preserved humanoid reptilian. This reptilian mummy, which is perhaps the first of its kind that looks more like a human than its own animalistic ancestors. A spectator who was invited to a private exhibition in a museum got to see these one-of-a-kind remains. Facially, the head is huge and beastly, along with its arms and legs. Now, even though it looked much bigger and like a lizard, its body was mostly humanoid, hinting at and fueling the speculations of them having infiltrated human civilization while taking up key positions in power. The footage was filmed secretly before being shared online. Giant alien bones. For centuries, the Mediterranean island of Sardinia has welcomed tourists with myths and legends, the most famous being that a race of giants once lived there thousands of years ago. Aside from a few massive stone structures, little evidence supported these tales until 1979, when archaeologists unearthed something astonishing.
I interviewed two individuals who worked on the excavation of the neuralgic ruins in the town of Sadara.
During excavations beneath the Church of St. Anastasia, they reportedly discovered multiple giant skeletons, ranging from 9 to 12 feet tall, dating back to different periods in time.
Underneath the Church of St. Anastasia, both of these individuals dug up, at different periods of time, multiple skeletons of giants from 9 to 12 feet tall.
Deceased alien carcass. Either this alien met with a tragedy, or perhaps ended up in a conflict with the military that is kept hidden from the public. A clip that was shared on social media by an unnamed source shows the carcass of an alien-like figure lying indoors in what looks like an isolated room, perhaps inside Area 51. The carcass, apart from severe injuries, looks to be missing one of the legs, with the other one twisted far too out of its frame. Not much is known about this, leaving it as another mystery. Female reptilian statue. While most would like to think that this is another ancient statue that is being dug up, others are convinced it to be petrified remains of a reptilian female. An island that was being dug up under a development where this bizarre discovery was made. It showed an extremely tall, well-designed and engraved female reptilian. According to some of the speculations, this could be some ancient giant female reptilian who was petrified by something like the Medusa, if this is not Medusa herself. Child dragon creature. In Rong Island, Cambodia, a resident reported an unusual discovery following heavy rainfall. A strange creature he described as a child dragon, initially resembling a lizard or snake. The being was captured on video and shared on social media, drawing significant attention. The footage showed the man examining the mysterious animal before its remains deteriorated rapidly. Within days, a team of marine biologists prepared to investigate the find, but by the time they arrived, the specimen had decomposed beyond recovery, leaving only the recording as evidence of the curious encounter and sparking ongoing speculation about its true identity. Decaying alien carcass. A team of explorers set out into the Peruvian mountains, drawn by reports of a UFO sighting in the region. Their journey led them to an abandoned structure, silent and covered in dust, where they uncovered a hidden wooden box tucked away in one of the rooms. Inside lay a pale-skinned, bulging-eyed carcass that appeared neither fully human nor animal, sparking immediate astonishment. When footage of the discovery surfaced online, it ignited a storm of speculation, with many questioning whether the remains could be evidence of extraterrestrial life or an entirely unknown species left behind in the remote mountains. Sasquatch remains.
Oh, wow. Oh, I remember.
Till now, there hasn't been much hard evidence to validate the existence of Sasquatch, but that notion seems to have changed. A small group of archaeologists set out to investigate a claim made by Nepali monks who had kept a preserved Yeti hand for decades. The team made a journey through Nepal, where they visited monasteries to examine the mysterious relic that could belong to the legendary creature. In another case, a Bigfoot enthusiast recorded footage of himself showing a large skull, stating it to be of a Bigfoot.
This is a skull of a female Sasquatch. Absolutely 100% real.
Now, considering its gigantic size and a view inside out that makes it look like a real skull, proves the case.
I was told that it was described as the Ancient One.
Giant hands unearthed. Archaeologists excavating a palace in the ancient city of Avaris in Egypt's Nile Delta uncovered 4 pits containing 16 severed giant right hands dating back 3,600 years, providing the first physical evidence of a brutal practice once depicted in Egyptian art and writing. The hands, some unusually large, were likely cut from vanquished enemies by warriors who exchanged them for gold as proof of victory, a ritual that symbolically deprived foes of their power. 2 pits, each with a single hand, were found before what is believed to be a throne room, linking the discovery to the Hyksos rulers, possibly King Cian. Viking burial site.
The skeletons are so amazing. They are so well preserved. There are 5 fingers, 5 toes.
In Denmark, workers upgrading the electrical grid made a remarkable discovery. More than 50 well-preserved Viking skeletons buried together, some still with complete fingers and toes. Among the graves was a woman interred with a wagon, beads, a knife, and an amulet, while another held a brooch with fragments of Viking clothing attached.
So the object I'm holding in my hand right now is a certain Viking age brooch. It's a female object that was worn on the breast actually to sort of hold together a piece of cloth.
Experts believe the site, larger and richer than a typical village, may have been an important Viking hub lost to time. Analysis of the remains offers insights into health, diet, and family ties, while new DNA research has further revealed that Vikings were far from the stereotypical purebred blonde warriors, showing instead a striking ethnic diversity. Cyclops skull. One autumn in the Midwest, farm workers stumbled upon a remarkable find, a massive skull featuring a single, large socket in the center of its forehead. The discovery immediately evoked comparisons to the Cyclops of Greek mythology, legendary one-eyed giant said to have once roamed the earth, estimated to be around 3 million years old.
The Cyclops were ferocious and huge man-eating giants that only had one great eye in the center of their forehead.
The skull appeared to belong to a towering creature that stood nearly 9 feet tall and weighed about 6 tons. While some see it as possible evidence of cyclopean beings, others suggest it may be the remains of an elephant, whose skull cavity can resemble a central eye socket.
The skeleton looked sort of human-like, only much bigger and a little stranger. Next thing you know, bada boom, bada bing, bada bam, you have a Cyclops.
Fallen angel statue.
Блин. Вот это да. Короче.
In Russia, workers reportedly unearthed a mysterious statue depicting an angel holding a sword and shield, discovered about 340 kilometers from Zeya. Captivated by the find, one of the locals filmed the statue and shared the footage on social media, where it quickly gained attention.
Все эти дела, и вот пока не приехали все эти товарищи.
The so-called fallen angel statue has sparked intrigue and speculation, with many fascinated by its eerie appearance and the unusual circumstances of its discovery. While some religious outfits believe it to be a divine sign, others were convinced that this was just another archaeological discovery.
Ребят, это вообще трындец. Какие эмоции?
Mexican fairy.
It has a very primate or humanoid-like head.
In September 2016, a mysterious creature widely referred to as the Mexican fairy was brought to the Santa Barbara Museum of Natural History for examination. Originally discovered in Mexico in 2011, the small winged figure had already gained significant attention across television and the internet due to its striking resemblance to folkloric depictions of fairies.
People have referred to it as a Mexican fairy.
With delicate features, humanoid form, and wings reminiscent of bats or insects, the specimen intrigued both enthusiasts and researchers alike. Its arrival at the museum sparked further interest, as experts began studying its unusual anatomy in hopes of uncovering clues about its true nature and origins.
But when you begin to look at it carefully, the lower jaw and the dentition in here all look to be bat.
Real unicorn evidence. Perhaps one of the strangest mummies ever discovered. Researchers uncovered the preserved remains of what appears to be a juvenile unicorn inside an old wooden case with a glass top. Measuring roughly 28 centimeters by 16 centimeters, the small body is remarkably well preserved, featuring spiral-shaped horns protruding from both its head and snout. While the case itself seems vintage, the specimen inside remains strikingly intact. Experts admit they have never encountered anything quite like it before. The unusual find has since been carefully secured and transferred to a laboratory for detailed analysis and documentation.
Catalog footage, the 3rd of September, year of 2007.
Dwarf mummified alien. In 2023, a man exploring a remote cave reportedly uncovered a mummified figure with unusual skeletal features that many claim resemble the so-called gray aliens. The small body displayed characteristics often associated with extraterrestrial imagery, including an elongated skull, oversized eye sockets, and a slight, fragile frame. Its remarkable preservation in such an isolated location sparked speculation that it may have been deliberately hidden or safeguarded, perhaps for study or ritual purposes. The discovery has reignited debates about humanity's past, with some suggesting it could be evidence of contact with beings from beyond Earth who may have influenced early civilizations. Oldest human skeleton.
As we were swimming around, all of a sudden we start finding bones. We go a little bit up and we look, and then there's this human skull.
In May 2014, scientists announced the discovery of the oldest and most complete human skeleton ever found in the New World. The remains of a 15-year-old girl who lived during the last ice age. Unearthed in 2007 within an underwater cave system in Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, the skeleton is estimated to be between 12,000 and 13,000 years old. The girl, who died under unknown circumstances, provides an unprecedented glimpse into the lives of the earliest Americans. Researchers believe her remains not only shed light on the origins and migration of the continent's first inhabitants, but also establish a direct genetic link to modern Native Americans.
We now have Naya's skull, and Naya has a complete skull. From that complete skull, we are going to reconstruct her face.
Prehistoric giant skeleton.
There's our giant human being. Try and put myself here for reference.
While exploring caves in Thailand, a man claimed to have found the skeleton of a giant human with an enormous centipede coiled around it. Local stories suggest the creature may have killed the giant, or fed on the body until it mysteriously perished as well. Some researchers speculate that the centipede's presence could have slowed the decay, leaving the skeleton remarkably well preserved. Adding to the mystery, the surrounding area has long been associated with unusual phenomena, such as abrupt temperature drops and failing electronics. These strange occurrences have fueled theories that the remains may be tied to ancient rituals and forgotten energies. Dwarf alien corpse. In August 1996, Russian senior police official Vladimir Bendlin uncovered a startling mystery while investigating a robbery in Kishtim. Inside a local apartment, he found the preserved remains of a strange, diminutive being first discovered near a cemetery by a local woman. The creature measured only 10 inches long, with dark brownish-gray, hairless skin, pronounced skull ridges, and a foul, musky odor that filled the room. Forensic experts dismissed the idea that it was a deformed human fetus, noting the absence of ears, nose, genitals, and even a navel.
There are several things missing. Ears, nose, genitals. Probably the most striking piece that we found.
The unusual remains were soon passed to UFO researchers, but mysteriously disappeared before further study could be conducted. Sacrificed servant. This isn't just another perfectly preserved mummy of an ancient pharaoh, rather, a willingly sacrificed servant. In ancient Egypt, servant sacrifice was a funerary custom in which pharaohs and sometimes high-ranking nobles had their attendants killed to serve them in the afterlife. This practice was more common in the early dynastic period, but later gave way to symbolic substitutes, such as servant statues. Mummification rituals also played a vital role in preparing for eternity. Embalmers removed parts of the brain through the nostrils with an iron hook, while most internal organs were extracted for preservation. The heart, however, was left untouched, as Egyptians believed it was essential for rebirth and judgment in the afterlife. Gigantic Jurassic fossil. In July 2019, paleontologists in France uncovered a massive dinosaur thigh bone dating back more than 140 million years to the late Jurassic period. The enormous femur, remarkably well preserved, is believed to have belonged to a sauropod, a group of giant herbivorous dinosaurs known for their long necks and tails. Related to the famous Diplodocus, sauropods rank among the largest land animals to have ever lived. The exceptional state of this fossil provides scientists with valuable insight into the anatomy and immense size of these prehistoric giants, making it one of the most significant finds of its kind in the region. Petrified giant. Behind Elijah's cave, startling footage surfaced showing what appears to be the petrified remains of a giant seated against the mountainside. The figure measures nearly 15 feet tall while sitting, suggesting it would have been far larger if standing upright, echoing legends of colossal beings said to have lived among humans. Its surface closely resembles the surrounding rock, leading some to speculate that natural lithification may have gradually transformed the body into stone. Adding to the mystery, unusual stone formations encircle the figure, patterns that differ from the local geology and fuel debate over whether this is a natural oddity or something more. Well-preserved ancient primate.
This is the best fossil and rarest fossil worldwide.
On May 20th, 2009, scientists unveiled a groundbreaking fossil discovery of a 47-million-year-old primate nicknamed Ida, officially known as Darwinius macilli. This remarkably preserved fossil was found in Germany's Messel Pit, a site famous for yielding exceptional specimens. Ida is a female juvenile, believed to have perished after being overcome by toxic gases from a volcanic lake, her body sinking into the lake's soft sediments, where it remained undisturbed for millions of years. What makes Ida extraordinary is her completeness. Over 95% of her skeleton is intact, including teeth, claws, and even traces of fur and stomach contents, offering rare insights into early primate evolution. Ancient skeleton surprise origins.
I'm amazed at the condition of this skeleton. When we first saw the coffin, I expected that whatever was inside it was going to be crushed, flat as a pancake.
The discovery of an unusually well-preserved 1,600-year-old skeleton in Bath has provided archaeologists with fascinating insights into life at the end of the Roman Empire. Unearthed in a rare lead coffin dating to the 4th century, the male skeleton stood out immediately, as such burials were uncommon in Roman Britain. DNA analysis revealed surprising details about his ancestry, suggesting he may have originated from regions far beyond Britain, possibly the Mediterranean or the Middle East, showing the diversity within late Roman society. Alongside his remains, archaeologists found traces of funerary practices, raising new questions about his identity, social status, and the journey that brought him to Roman Britain.
But the skeleton's in almost perfect condition, even the skull.
Fossilized dinosaur eggs unearthed. In 2015, archaeologists uncovered a nest of 43 dinosaur eggs, 19 of which remained intact, at a construction site in Guangdong Province, South China. Measuring between 10 and 13 centimeters, the fossils were transferred to the local dinosaur museum for preservation and study. Experts believe the eggs date back to the late Cretaceous period, around 65 million years ago, though the species they belong to is still unknown. Remarkably, the city has yielded over 17,000 dinosaur egg fossils to date, earning its museum a Guinness World Record for housing the largest collection of dinosaur eggs in the world. Discovered Chupacabra remains. In San Antonio, Texas, a man believes he may have discovered the remains of the legendary Chupacabra inside his barn. The carcass was taken to the Blanco Taxidermy School, where taxidermist Jerry Ayer admitted he had never seen anything like it before. The dog-like creature closely resembled witness descriptions of the mythical goatsucker, a vampiric beast said to prey on livestock, especially goats, by drinking their blood. In recent years, reports of strange dog-like animals, unlike typical coyotes, have fueled speculation that these mysterious sightings may indeed be the long-rumored Chupacabra. Double-headed giant.
I like to look at that because you can't see it. There's a glare.
A visitor in a museum managed to capture a close-up clip of the famous Cap d'Oie double-headed giant. It was first captured by Spanish sailors in the 17th century, a towering two-headed giant off the coast of Argentina, though accounts differ on whether he was taken alive or discovered washed ashore with a spear lodged in his chest.
There's the piercing right there in the chest.
His preserved remains, later known as Cap d'Oie, eventually surfaced in England during the 19th century, where they became part of traveling exhibitions and were shown to fascinated crowds. Over the years, the mysterious mummy passed through the hands of various collectors, ultimately finding its way to Baltimore, Maryland, where it remains a striking centerpiece in a private collection of curiosities. Open discussion. This picture and video were taken at a museum in Romania, showing a large mermaid that is believed to have been petrified. According to the source, it was first discovered by a fisherman before it was acquired by the museum. It looks to have gone under severe starvation before being turned into a stone. Unlike most other mermaids that you have heard of till now, this one looked to have extra fins on its head, which was initially believed to be the hair until it was examined. Now, considering how it was bought by the museum and placed on display, proves that this is very likely legit. However, do share with us your opinion in the comments.